Hello everyone, this is our Test Automation Brigade meeting and today is February 27th and just a reminder to everyone, these meetings are public and they will be recorded and posted onto YouTube. So let's go over our agenda items. So while I go through these items, people can add more topics in case we need any discussions. Please feel free to add at any point of time, and then based on the time, we can pick up the topics and discuss. Okay, so as usual, let's go over the status and updates. I'll bring up the Jira. Okay. So Infosys, do you want to go first?
Yeah, hi Sujitra, Suraj here.
Hi, Suraj.
Yeah. So Hema won't be joining call today.
Okay.
So basically, update from us is the lab migration update means what Hema has provided. It is still in progress. By tomorrow, we'll be having all setup back again. So that is regarding the setup on the hardware side. And from my end, I have. I'm continuing with 2054 p-bit validation ticket. So I have written this keyword for generating the traffic and checking the counters. So most probably on the hardware tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I will test that. And also there was one script, one Jira 2591. So it wasn't um, error related. So I picked up that also. So in couple of days I will submit that. And I think yeah, Gayatri is also done with scripting of 2052, and she's yet to test on the hardware.
Okay, thanks, Suraj. So just a quick question. What is this story about? 2591? Check my MIB state.
Uh, it was an I think Hema reported one issue around it. So when we disable ONU and disable OLT and recreate the OLT, the MIB state was not getting as expected. So we have converted that into the uh, Jira to automate that scenario. So I think that issue is resolved, but I was writing the keyword so that we can add it in our test suite.
Okay, I got it. But I thought we already have a check when we are creating the OLT back and then we check the states on the ONUs to always be in this particular OMCI flows push state, isn't it? Or is it something different that you're going to write?
Uh, on this one, we are disabling the ONU first and then deleting ONU, and when then disabling OLT and deleting OLT and then recreating the OLT. So these are the steps I know, but I need to check whether these steps are already covered in some other our test case or not.
Yes, that's what I believe
Okay.
because we have been checking for this state whenever the ONU is being added or getting discovered at this time. Yeah, please recheck before you start on the in
So,
the libraries and then check the
sure.
keywords.
Sure. So, Chitra, one more point regarding that WPA reassociate. So, you were able to make that test run by clearing the process and
Which one? I'm sorry.
regarding WPA reassociate, you
Yes,
know,
mhm. The WPA
uh,
ESG site, I'm planning to remove those, and we thought that we will use regular authentication that the WPA supplicant, whatever keywords that we had used, and
okay,
we have in our libraries, we use the same keywords to re-authenticate as well. So before that, we have to obviously clear the WPA processes that are running on the RGs first before we can send another authentication. So I integrated that test. I just made one test case to try it out, and last night looks like it worked. But we need to still make sure that that it passes well, and then probably we can take up other test cases and convert that reassociate to regular authentication.
Okay, okay. Because in this, I mean, in this case, we are clearing the process, and we are again initiating the WPA supplicant. So it
Yeah.
will be authentication again.
Yes.
Oh, it
Yeah.
won't be with the existing. Okay, got it. So that is fine. It means, right? Okay.
Yeah, if you remember, we were writing, and even you started to use the
Mm.
same approach before, and then we thought that why not we
Yeah.
try the WPA associate. So we gave
Yeah.
it a try, and then but somehow at some places, even I'm not confident whether whether it's doing the right thing, and it yeah. So we thought like let's
So,
just do authentication, regular authentication.
okay, okay. It means, yeah,
That's
okay. Got
yeah, there is a cleaner way of doing them.
it. Right, understand.
Yeah, so once it works, then I will let you know, Suraj. So probably you can change the other test as well. I know that there were a couple test cases that you have written originally. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so then we can discuss offline and then see how we can go about it.
sure, sure. That's all we have. Yeah, from Infosys.
Okay, thank you, Suraj. And just a quick clarification. I know you had mentioned about lab migration is in progress. So, uh, is this migration? What kind of migration is this? The pod.
Uh, uh, Mostly actually Hema is aware about because she is the person who is in lab only. So we generally access is remotely.
Okay.
So I think on Slack she can provide update if.
Okay. So right at this time, you do not have access to the pod then, because they are doing some work.
Yeah, yeah. At the moment. Yes. So
At
but by tomorrow they are planning to bring everything again.
okay, got it. All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So anybody from Atran?
Yes, hello, Thorsten here.
Hello, Torsten.
Good evening. So, for my issue, I don't have any progress due to two very important issues outside of the 1F scope. But hopefully next week I will go on, also with your remarks to my review. The next one, the Uber, is in contact with David. The progress is, from my point of view, very good, and hopefully we can finish this week. And the last point, Gerald, I can't see it, but it doesn't matter. Gerald will be sick for a long time.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, it is so.
So is he all right, or he's not going to?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That, that's
Yes, and
sad to hear. I hope he feels better.
hopefully. Okay, that's all for today.
Okay, thank you, Torsten. Yes, and then David and myself also talked about the patch that Uwe has submitted about the a script upgrade of Volta for in multiple instances of BBSIM. So we were thinking that because there are some critical changes that will happen on that, maybe we want to take it up after this release, 2.3 release. So it's still under discussion, but we will let Uwe also know about it.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay. And yeah, so anything else, Torsten, from your side?
Only one point. In the near future, it will be not able for me to take part on this meeting. Maybe we can think about to move it to another time.
Okay, so the meeting to be moved. I'm not sure if we will be able to move the meeting itself. Probably if you are not able to attend the meetings, maybe we can connect on emails or Slack and then discuss items.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
For me, is it okay?
Okay. Yeah. So we will be in the second week of March. We will be changing the time, and that I'm not sure at that time if we will be really going to change the meetings, 8:30 to 9:30. Let's see. I cannot guarantee it.
Okay.
But we can always keep in touch through Slack and emails.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Torsten. Okay. Anybody from Infosys Berlin? Hardik, are you on the call? Okay. Looks like no. Nobody from there. So, and I believe that even Infosys in Berlin is also going to use the same pod like from India. Is that correct, Suraj?
Yeah, I think yes.
Okay. So are we still, does he have an access at least?
I think yeah, he's having access. Fine. So generally, EMA is a point of contact for us because, but as I'm aware, yeah, he was working on it. He's having access.
Okay, I will reach out to him on Slack because there are a few DT test cases that we are not, I mean, we don't have time to integrate them yet in our pods until he verifies them on his own hardware. So that's the question. That's
Oh,
why I'm curious.
okay.
All right, thank you. Anyone else from our side? Anybody wants to talk about the progress? Andy, Zach, do you have any inputs or things that you want to share?
Hi, Suchicha. This is Andy.
Hi, Andy.
The main thing that I wanted people to be aware of is that cord tester resources robot resources in the cord tester repository are now being published to PyPy as a Python package. And so in order to use those resources, which we do in many of the Voltha system tests, it's no longer necessary to check out the cord tester repository along with Voltha system tests and import the resources from that checked out repository. Instead, the library, the package, which is called Cord Robot, is automatically gets imported into the Python environment that the Voltha system tests sets up. And as long as the test file is importing that library, then you can just use all of the cord tester resources. So I think that's a much cleaner way to do things. It's also that library is versioned, so we don't have to worry about changes to, in the cord tester repository, breaking our Voltha system tests.
Okay, so one question around this. Now, since this is versioned, let's say if I have to make any change in those libraries, for any small change, do we need to bump the version?
Yes. Yeah, if you want to be able to, I mean, not for testing, it's possible to just test things locally.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to publish a new version of the Cord Robot library with some new feature in it, then you'll need to bump the version and go through the publishing process.
Oh, okay.
But so the publishing itself is done by jobs on Jenkins. That's all automated. So you
Yes.
don't really need to do anything there. You just change the version file and
Mhm.
and check in your change.
Okay, you're right. Got it. And also, if if it's possible, whenever you have time, can you please update the README files? Because when we want to run the test manually, I know that in the README files we have mentioned how to run tests manually, but now that since Code Tester is as a Python package, we need to do a couple steps before.
Sure, yeah, I'll take a look at the README and make sure that that's up to date.
Yeah. So on a command line, how we do that. So some steps that would be helpful for everyone.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Suraj here.
Go ahead, Suraj.
Yeah. So regarding the same, actually, on the Scott tester change. So let's say if I'm writing a test case and sometime I need to use the existing keyword from that repo. So I used to just look around those files on Git. So now if I want to see those keywords, so uh, as we have converted into library, so where they will be available?
Well, so you can still look on GitHub and see the resources because they're still in the Cord Tester repository. What we've done is just add some extra code to Cord Tester to make it easy to publish those resources as a Python package.
Okay.
Or we also have, we can still use the make gendoc and then get the HTML version of the keywords, right?
I believe so. I haven't checked that recently, but I think that should still work.
Oh, I'm not sure if that works on that repository because Voltha system tests, Zach had made changes to run the make gendoc. I'm not sure if that happens on the Cord tester.
Yeah, so I think that documentation for Cord Tester isn't currently linked on the docs.volta.org website. So yeah, I don't know what the missing piece is there, but yeah, maybe we should check with Zach.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that will be helpful. If that happens, then we can just link that in our README file and then people can look at those.
Yeah, agreed. That's a better way to do it than just having to poke around on GitHub.
Yeah. All right, let's check with Zach. So would you mind checking with Zach, Andy?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you. All right, any questions for Andy? Andy, did you want to say anything else before we move to questions?
Nope, not really. I've otherwise just been trying to help figure out why some tests are failing and just debugging.
Okay, thanks a lot, Andy. Any questions for Andy on this regards? Okay.
Maybe people are waiting to see the documentation before their questions become clear.
Yeah, maybe that will help. Right. Okay, thank you, Andy. Moving on. All right, I can go ahead with my updates if there are nothing from anyone else. So I've been working on, we have the new, let me open the Jenkins, by the way. So the release jobs on the parts have been upgraded to take up the newer Helm charts that was released earlier this week, and now they point to the stable versions of the components and and that way there is no change in the components on the release tags. And right now they are running fine. If you see that all test cases over here are passing for the release job. And there are few other changes that I'm making this week, basically trying to add new test cases from the existing repository. I mean, whatever we have in stock in the repository, but they were in not ready state. So I'm trying to edit those test cases and add one by one to these nightly jobs. And if you see last night, there were some failures, so still need to investigate on what's going on. And along with that, I'm also making some changes where we can reduce the dependencies between the test cases wherever we can, and like deleting the test and then re-adding the tests. And there is also, but for the functional test, we still are maintaining a sequence of scenarios, not deleting the OLT per every test case. So that is still there, and still trying to move around the test cases here and there so that we have a good test sequence. So that is that takes time for the test. Until that entire work happens, we might see these failures over here, and the test results might not be stable for a while. So just wanted to let everybody know about that, because the same set of test cases will be run on your pods as well, and you might be seeing failures there. So other than that, yeah, no other updates as part of these Jenkins jobs. Any questions? Okay. So moving on then. Any other patches pending for review, please send them across to us on Slack, and we should be able to review and merge them. Any questions before we move on to the next items? All right, pods, I don't think we do have any other issues here, except that the Infosys pod is down right now because of the lab migration that is happening. And I think until then, we don't have the jobs also running on the Infosys pod. And Berlin pod seems to be fine. And Andrea and a couple others from here worked on the pod and then tried to bring up the so resolve the issues on the pod, and then the tests are running fine. I don't see any other issues being reported from Andrea on that. Okay, test executions and updates. So as I just mentioned that the new released images, we have the jobs are being updated with the new Helm charts, and the same thing, the new test cases, and trying to integrate more and more test cases into the nightly jobs. Hopefully that will continue for another 2 weeks, because the pace that is going on right now with the issues, I don't see that I'm able to add multiple test cases in one day, and hopefully we can do it more faster. Okay, another update is that please everybody whoever has their pods to download this new OpenOT package, which was submitted by Girish yesterday. Not a day before yesterday, he created an OpenOLT 2.3.0 Debian version, and I already tested it on one of our pods here, and it looks fine. Please download this package and then update your pods accordingly. And Andy, I think we need to do that for Tucson also, if not done.
Okay, no, I didn't know about this, so I'll do that.
Okay, yeah. So I haven't officially changed on our QA pods also. I will be going to do them today. I just tested them yesterday and it looked fine. Okay. Anything? Any questions?
Suchitra, Thorsten here.
Yes, Thorsten.
Is there any description for the upgrade of OpenOLT?
Description, good point. I am not sure where we can find the description of what changes, but what I know is Girish mentioned that there were a couple bug fixes, not major changes, but very minor fixes, and it's a very small change. That's what he mentioned, and it shouldn't affect any testing as well, any feature.
I mean more how to do the upgrade, not what the contents is.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So the upgrade, we have to go to this website, the EdgeCore website. I'm not sure if you have access, but please check with Gerald or anyone. Andrea should be able to help you to get the access. On the EdgeCore website, you will have some login credentials which are given to you. And once you drill down to this particular directory structure here, which is highlighted here, OpenOLT agent, ONF distribution, and Voltha 2.3 directory, and you will see a Debian version which says OpenOLT 2.3.0. Then you just need to download it. Once you download it, you just put the package on the onto your OLT. Just copy that onto your OLT, and like the build job will automatically, then when you point the build job to pick up this particular 2.3.0 Debian version, then it will automatically build. So I'll just give you a quick example. So because all pods are built manually, automatically, and in our build job, these are the parameters from Jenkins. And here we have a parameter which calls for OLT Debian version. And currently, this is the latest version that we had been testing, the earlier version. And now you would just change to the newer one once you copy that onto your OLT. So then here it would be OpenOLT-2.3.0 to Debian file, or whichever naming that you have given. And that's all. And the job takes care of downloading that package, because in this stage right here, we are reinstalling, as part of the build job, we are installing the OLT software, and whatever Debian package that you have mentioned in your job, that is picked up, and then that gets installed on the OLT, and then it restarts the OLT processes as part of the build job.
And is it necessary when I work only in virtual machine with BBSim?
BBSim, no, you don't need it.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, this is only for hardware. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is only.
Okay, then it's everything clear.
Okay. Okay, so anybody from Turk Telecom on the call? Basak or Sarkant?
Hi, Suchitra. This is Serkan talking.
Hi, Sarkant.
Başakan Tolga may give some update, but as far as I know, there was no much progress. So, Başak,
Okay.
do you want to say something?
No, I just wanted to reach out to them and then see if they are stuck anywhere, we can help them out. And if they have any questions, we can address them in this call. Or if they need a different discussion around it, we can always have a discussion. So I just want to let them know about that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
No, okay, sure, no problem. So they are still, I hope the documentation that was provided, the links and to the automation directories, they are going through it and they were able to understand it. Is anything else which is pending from our side, Serkan? Do you think there is anything that we still need to share?
No, not right now. Actually, we are still in progress of understanding the documentation also, and process of setting up the hardware environment. There are some still issues. Hopefully we can solve it in a couple of days.
Okay, sure, no problem. Thanks, Serkan. I just wanted to see if there was anything that was required.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, thank you. All right, so I think that is all I have on the agenda. Anything else that we want to discuss today? Okay, sounds like we are good. Okay, thanks everyone for your time. And we will talk again next week, same time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.